Hello, hey. I think it's uh, welcome to the new stream, I guess. And uh, so, what I have to tell you that for the couple of days from 20th, the internet service provider is doing like the internet is not coming very well. It's very bad, and the bitrate is very low. The network is not in a continuity way, like you can't do anything where you are doing uh, bitrate related thing. It you just can stream like a YouTube video like that, but so uh, therefore I haven't streamed for like 4 or 5 days, but I have tried one day, like two days ago. I did a stream like 2 to 3 hours, but I did notice that my stream is uh, already stopped and disconnected. So one thing I have to tell you that if you uh, if you ever face that problem, like when you are when you have opened your OBS setting, like the OBS UI, you can see that you have there the connection showing your usage of internet. like like now I'm using 10,000 kbps right now, but when uh, when yes, the 2 days ago I also seeing that 10,000 kb is also used by the OBS. It's a 2 hours after when I have started the stream, and then I I also then I after 2 hours I search for my YouTube channel, and then saw that is it working. Then I see that the video is already the stream is already stopped after 2 minutes. So that's a thing. You have to, like, if you ever uh, do any stream that related that. So and like okay, so what I'm doing couple of days, like I had an exam on the 21st about the NQT exam, where I think I have done pretty good in that. Like, I have solved the coding, both the questions of coding, like 6 test is passes in the first question, and second question the 7 out of 7 test course is passed. uh, and all the things I don't know. I am not sure about how how I perform in those sections, but I think I have cleared. I have done that much that will clear the exam, I guess. Okay, so from today on, like I know that I'm doing uh, the DSA thing, but like I also want to do some side by side the web development. So I'm thinking of like I'm very bad in that web development, because I haven't done uh, this in continuity and uh, with a learning mind. Like I have learned the uh, what I have done until now. I have learned the like languages like JavaScript. I have done used library like React, used the framework Express, Node.js, database MongoDB, and what I did, like for the couple of like 1 or 2 weeks I just started doing that. After that, for couple of months I didn't touch that, so I don't know anything about that. So like web development is I haven't gotten the interest in that, but this is not how it should be. I think I will now start the TypeScript. Like uh, I know the basic JavaScript, the concepts of JavaScript, the context, async, await promises, yeah, these things, and aside that, you don't need to be the perfect in the JavaScript to switch to TypeScript. So I'm thinking that I should learn the TypeScript and then side by side making a project, small 2 3 small projects. Then I will go to the big project that will, and I think, and I'm right now. I think from now on I'll be focusing very most focusing in the web development more than the DSA. Yeah, that is my goal. And but for the DSA, I think I'll be solving some questions on DSA as well. If I got time today, I have started the stream at around 4. Uh, yeah, 3:30. I think I should start. Okay, so in the night, I think uh, I don't know that I should be streaming in the night because there is very background noise, so I can't open my mic and practice my communication. But the stream helped me in uh, staying in the continuity, because when I stream, I can learn things faster than when I'm not doing. Like if I'm doing anything started learning and I'm not streaming, I jump back to another thing and doing that. So like right now I can do like web development for like 7:30 to or 7 p.m. Like it's about 4 5 hours, and in the night I can uh, do the DSA. Mm, Yeah, let. Okay, where variables that in JavaScript, where is the old way? We don't use it in modern JS. And what's the problem with where? Because it's a functional scoped, not blocked scoped, and it can be redeclared in the program get hoisted initialized as undefined. Okay, it is initialized as the it can be initialized as undefined. Don't have to give any value to it. If okay, so it's a function, like if it is true, then you will give variable a, a is equals to 5. But in case 5 leaks outside block, means you of a is not declared outside the block, but it is uh, printing value outside the blocks. So that's a problem, cause bugs due to unexpected scope behavior. That's a problem in uh, variable where. Now comes the let, modern recommended. What is that? JavaScript let x is equals to 10. Key characteristics: blocked scope, uh, cannot be cannot be declared in same scope, hoisted but in temporal dead zone, DTZ. uh, what is the thing? Yeah, it's a blocked scope, cannot be declared in same scope. Okay, it can't be declared in the same scope, like in a function, or you have given the block for that, like this is its yeah, like this is its block, so it is declared in this function of not the function condition if, and so it can be access inside that condition, not outside of that. So uh, in this case you are printing outside of it, but it is giving error. So that's let. Cannot be okay, cannot redeclare, but we can redeclare it outside it outside of the block. Hoisted but it temporal red zone TZT. uh, Hoisted, what that hoisted really mean? Hoisting in JavaScript is the mechanism where the engine moves declaration, okay, not initialization, declaration of variable and function to the top of their scope, meaning that of variable and function to the top of their scope, with the engine moves declaration, okay, of variables and function to the top of their scope during the compilation phase before code execution. This allows you to reference functions and variable before they're physically declared in the code. Okay, okay. Know that. Okay, okay. So that means that, like, you have declared this uh, okay, hoisting but in temporal z zone, means that if you declare uh, let a outside of this function, now uh, you can after, like, you are declaring a below this, but you can use if you don't declare this a inside that condition, it doesn't affect whether you declare that a inside or not. You can access uh, after declaring it below the uh, below the condition as well. Const, most used. Why would we use const most? Const and key characteristics. block scope, that is a this is also a blocked scope, and this is also a blocked scope. In this let it cannot be redeclared in the same scope. And let's see about block scope and cannot be reassigned. Okay, so this can't be reassigned, like you can't give another value to uh, like here x is 10, so x will remains 10 in whole program. You can't change that x, like x you are assigning 20 value to x. This is not inevitable, must be initialized. Okay, you should be initializing const every time you are writing it. But important is that const user. Okay, you have declared a string value type variable, and user dot name. Okay, user dot name is Rahul, that is allowed in the const. Okay, the this means you can change applies the change can be applied in the values given in the uh, const variable. Const protect the reference, not the value. Okay, so that means you can't change the reference, but the value you can change the value. Like this, in this case you have declared the uh, variable const, that is user in a key value pair. So key, that is the reference, will remain same in whole program, but you can change the value of key anytime. When to use what? Okay, used const by default. Use let if value changes. Avoid when. Okay, so we have to consider that, like if we don't want to change anything, like in the reference things, then you will be using const, and use let if value changes. JavaScript data types, deep understanding. What? JS has a dynamic typing, meaning let x is 10, yeah, that is number, and x is hello, now string. This is exactly why TypeScript exists. Okay, so in this case you are declaring for in first line the number data ds in x, but in the second you are declaring a string. That is allowed in JavaScript. So this can be tackled by using TypeScript somehow. I don't know how, but that can be uh, that will be see the primitive data types. These are not mostly used like these are immutable. Mutable means that we can change the values, but immutable means we can't change the values. Immutable and stored by value. They are stored by value. Okay, now we have the string primitive data type. Let name is Aman. So let, we are using let, it's a functional scope. The not this functional scope, the blocked scope, and can be declared, and tct and tdz, temporary date zone hoisting, like something like that. Let name Aman, text data can use okay double string, the string for parenthesis, double parenthesis, not parenthesis, inverted comma. What do you call them? single quotation. I don't know. What do we call this? Not this. I'm telling like pronunciation. What? Let's forget that. Text data. Text data. Okay, we have declared name as a string Aman, that is in double inverted comma or the quotation mark quotes, and in single quotes. Data text data can be in single quote and double quote, or the backticks. Yeah, backtick is important. Like they are used as like inside these backticks you can also give the variables, or yeah, pass the values in the output. And okay, so as compared to the C++, like in C++, string is defined in double quotation mark and character is defined in a single quotation mark. That is the thing. But here I think that is not the case. Here you can define a string in single quotation mark and double quotation mark as well, or as well as backticks. Let you have message. Yeah, this is the backtick. Hello, do you have given the name? And what is the name? Name is Aman. You have given by $, curly braces, and name inside it. Now the number, age 25, that is the number. Primitive data type age 25 including integer and decimals, and then number can be integer, decimal as well. Special values, nan is not a number. Okay, so that is not a number. And infinity, these are special values. Okay, console.log 0 divided by 0, that is not a number because it is not defined, I think. So that's how you are defining the not a number. And now the boolean case, true and false. Okay, undefined, let x. Okay, so you haven't assigned any value to x, so that is called the undefined. Okay, variable is declared but no value is assigned. If no value is assigned, then it is undefined. Now comes the null. Okay, null is also intentional absence of value. Okay, null is also assigned to the users and code as intentional absence of value. Null versus undefined. Okay, that's a question we can ask. Like feature, meaning. Meaning, what is the meaning? Undefined means not assigned. Null is intensely empty. Okay, that's clear. Type, undefined, and that is object. Okay, so null is an object. JS bug. What? Okay, so null is considered as a object in JS, and who sets it? it sets developer and it sets set by the developer. Okay, now that is a small function. And a you have defined a, like you haven't assigned anything to a, then this is then this is not defined. And here you have defined a or b as null. So now you are printing console.data is undefined at it. Okay, simple loop. Undefined, just did it. Null, you did it. And now the symbol comes. Advanced basic idea. No. Advanced. Okay, this getting for that. The const id, symbol id. Okay, always unique. Use for object keys. Okay. Okay. So when you are defining some objects in JS, so when then you will be using the symbols thing. Symbol id, big int. Now comes the in picture, the big int. Yeah, big int, like long int, I think. Yeah, you are storing very big number in the big int. Let big, you just declaring big, but you are not uh, like here you are defining the symbol null. Okay, these are the data types you are declaring, and here null undefined, it's boolean, it's nan 25, and the string big int, very big number, very large number, beyond number limit, non primitive. Reference type, they are stored by references, not value. Okay, these are the three example or the non primitive data types. First is objects, array, and function. These are three non primitive. I know about objects, arrays, and functions. In case like you have initialized let user, and objects always initialize inside the curly braces. Like here, Naman name is like Aman, age 22, and that is inside the curly braces. These the uh, user is object, and you can access these values. Like this is string, this is number. You can access like user dot naman is equals to user dot name is equals to aman, and user dot age is equals to 22. And in case of arrays, you can declare just like that, any value it will suffice in array. Functions, you can there's many types of function in JS. Function greet, like you have greet written hello, just value versus reference gaps, critical concept. Value versus reference. Okay, primitive type, this is here a. Okay, a is 10. Okay, now you are initializing b and putting the value of a into the b. Like here a is 10, so b is also 10, and now you are assigning b equals to 20. So what will be the a should be 10. Why would the a change? Okay, so this example is telling us the how the reference behaves. Like in C++, you if you change the reference of that value, then all value change. But this is not how we are changing the reference. So this remains same. But now the reference is shared. Now in this case, you have copied the function. In this example, you are sharing the reference. Like that's the object one. Just declare the name, and the object 2 is uh, assigned the value of object 1. In object 2 we are assigning the value of object 1, and now you are uh, okay. Object to name is Rahul. You have changed the object to name. Then the if you console log object one name, that is also changed, and the shocking emoji. That's okay. So why this happens? Because these three object, array, functions are reference types. So if you uh, assign these value to anyone, then they can also be they are also changed. So you have to, because remember uh, these data types. Both points to same memory. Okay, so because object one, we are pointing to the memory. So that's how are they working. uh, and dynamic timing, why TS exists? Why would we use TS when we have JS working fine? So that's where the TS comes into the play. JavaScript allow this. JavaScript allow, like we have initialized let data is 10 and data is also hello and data is also true. So data can take any value and change, so it will not give no error, but dangerous in large apps. Okay, it will dangerous, but if you need that you can use this, but this is not how you will be using anything. Like you can declare the new uh, what the new variable. You don't have to change all the things in the same date variable. Like you can declare anything else for the string values, true value. You don't have to be using the same data type again and again. uh, Problem example, like function. This is a function. You are, what is a function? Function add a comma b and returning a plus b. So now you have given the value 2 as an integer and 3 as a string. So how it will perform? It will convert 2 into uh, 2 will act as a string, and they will concatenate as a 2 3. That's a very JS want to stop you, TypeScript will. Okay, so you are adding two different types of data types, but JS doesn't stop you. It will execute that, and you will be getting the 23 in string, but TypeScript will stop you. Okay, that's where we'll be using. It's very uh, what do you call, uh, like it's easier. Okay, so what you just told, you understand difference between val and okay. If you want next step, I can give you practice question for this topic. Take a quick test to check if you are able. I just did that. How can I how this can be enough for the TypeScript. Okay, now we have around 17 points. I know that GS25 and this person, like event loop. I know the event loop. JS is single threaded house, and yeah, I know how the call stack or the priority queue works in JS. I have learned about that, and how will be they executing, like when you are using the event loop and async await, which will be executing first. I just have to remove the call and type coercion, implicit coercion. I think I have heard about that. Prototypes and classes. Yes, this keyword is very important. The JS hoisting will be coming afterwards, where let can and function hoisting, and yeah, just I understand the hosting like function hosting when you are using anything above and below, error handling, try catch block. You will be using this block, and as you can also using the async await to be, I think, handling the error DOMs basics, like how you are getting the values like of any HTML CSS, not the HTML, like come uh, uh, what do you I mean, the HTML tags or the component, anything you want to do something on that thing. So you will be using the DOM manipulation, that's a tree like structure and these things. Yeah, asynchronous JavaScript, very important. E6, yeah, ECMAScript modules and destructuring and spread. Okay, objects and arrays. Yeah, these are some objects and arrays you will be considering. Scope and closure, that's a very important in this. I have done these things also. Okay, functions and operations and basics. I know the basics also, and how about I give all these things at the same time, like scopes until scopes. Give and details. Let's finding let's processing it, and I'll just take a quick water break. Okay, uh, these are core concepts. If you are understand these, that will feel natural instead of confused. Let's go dive step by step. Operators and basics. Arithmetic operations. That is the addition operation, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the modulus remainder. Console to log 10 by 3. That is one often used for checking even odds. Okay, comparison operator. Yeah, this checks also the data type. This checks the value, just the value. Lose equality compares value only. Does type cohesion. Okay, in that case, that is true. But it is string and it is num. That's a fault that you can see. So you will be using the triple equals to sign, because you will be checking the data type as well. Strict equality, comparison values plus type, no conversion, like this gives the false. Why it is better? False, true, false. That is okay. In first, it should be for okay. False double equals to 0. So why it is true? Because 0 is also known as false. But here you have 0 value. 0 is number, and here you have the boolean. So they are not same, but it is returning true. So this is incorrect. Here now you have false, and here you have 0. That is false. Then that is correct. And here as well, this is empty. This is 0. So this is returning true. So that means I'll be using the triple. Triple equals to, whenever I'm using 4 equals to sign. Null double equals to undefined. That is also true. In that case, these weird cases called bugs rule. Always use triple equal unless you really know why you're using the okay, loosely what is it called, equality or loose equality. Okay, now the logical operators. Yeah, these are the logical operators, and this is an AND operator, like it's true then true false. Yeah, I know that. Return the first false value and the last value. Console log. uh, Here you have the 0, and you are checking with hello. Then you'll be returning 0 because they are not same. Returns first false value or last value, and that is a or operator refers to true. If one of them is true, then it will true. Return first truth value. You have to be all false if you want to be true, and if it gets one of them is true, then it's a true. Now here you have this and this. Now you will be returning a default. Okay, okay, this will return the first false value. Like here you have 0, that is false value, and you will be returning 0. And but in case of or, it will be returning the first truthy value. Like here you don't have any value, but here you have default any value, and that is considered as a true, and you will be returning true. Used for defaults. Okay, now you have name. Unless you have given the user input, you will considering the guest. If you haven't if you have does not have any input like user input provided to you, then this will you will be considered as a guest. That's a not operator, like true, that means false, true, truthy and falsy values, like mm, truthy and falsy values, false, zero, null, then okay, these are the falsy values. These are the considered as the false values, like false, uh, 0, and the empty string, null, undefined, and none. These are the false value, and other than that all are considered as a truthy value. Everything else truthy. Remember that undefined, none, null, empty, 0, and false. Ternary operator, sort if else. Okay, this is the operator same as I think uh, uh, C++, like condition. You are checking condition question mark. If it is true, the condition is true, then you will printing the value 1. If it is not true, then you will be printing value 2. Like result, you are getting the result. Age is, if age is greater than equals to 18, then you will be printing adult, uh, unless you are minor. uh, Cleaner than, okay, you mean that is clear than, yeah, okay. Functions, very functions. Now comes the functions in function declaration. JavaScript, like you are how can you define the function? You will be defining function by writing by anything, uh, before starting anything, function. That's how you will be declaring the function. And also when, like, the arrow function, you just you should have, you are having a colon, no, the colon, the brackets, uh, curved brackets, and uh, the arrow sign, and the all the function written inside the uh, braces, curly braces. That's how you will be defining the functions, like in arrow function. Okay, now you have function declaration. Now you can define the function like function greet. Yeah, you are returning the hello. Okay, host it can also defining. Now the function expression, like this is the function expression. This is the hosting, like hosting. I will learning on hosting in again, but I'm not recalling how the hosting works. Function expression. Uh, Drop frame 38, 0.0%. Does it? Wait a minute. I will check that it is working. Uh, like streaming or not. Videos live. It is. Yeah, it is. Okay. 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 Do you know this song? That's not. Okay. Uh, where? Uh, yeah, functions. You can declare functions like that. Function expression. Now you are giving the functions value, like you are returning anything that from the function. That will be storing at the greet, like hello, and then you are declaring a function as like uh, simple function, and you don't have to give the name for that function right here. Just you have the function bracket, curly, oh, what, circle bracket, I don't know what they call it. Could be, uh, I think bracket called the uh, square ones. These are called the parenthesis, and these are called, don't know. Forget that. Return hello function. That's how you write can function. That is not hoisted. That you have to remember the arrow function. You are, now in this case you don't have to be writing the function. Just you will be. That's how you are. That you would be writing. That is, and you can also can use here the curly braces if you are creating a bigger function. Key difference center. Sort syntax. The key difference is sort syntax. No on this. Array versus normal functions. This. Okay. Now we are getting uh, interesting. Let's. Okay. You have declared a object. First, the object key value is first object. What do you call the object's parameter? Not parameter, the value. Like name is Amar. I have to change the name. Like uh, you have also the normal. Okay, you are declaring uh, assigning the normal. Normal is your key for the object, and you are defining a value of that normal by using the functions. Instead of any directly putting the value, you are giving the function. Like you have given the function, and the value is console.log this dot name. If ever the object's value this called like normal dot the object dot normal is called, then this will be printing the function this dot name. This dot name is the name values. Like you have the uh, aman, and I know that this means that whenever in which you are, in which block you are, then uh, that value will be printing in that. You don't be considering the global value or anything value, just the value that you have outside that block, or in its parented parented function or block. Okay, now you have, that's a normal, and that's an arrow. And what is that arrow? That's a objects object value, object key, and you are declaring the functions in it, and that is you are declaring the function in a array arrow type functions, arrow type function, and you will be returning this name. And now we will learn about what is this did here and here. Okay, so we called the object dot normal. Okay, we called the normal object dot normal. Okay, here we call the object dot normal, uh that is a one. Okay, simply it's got the value from name from this, and that is its parent block, parent block value. Okay, so that means this is value, this value taking the value from that their its parent. And but in the case of arrow, in this case of arrow, the this will be returning undefined. That means this is not taking a value from its parent or anything. Like if you have initialized that value inside that function, then it will consider that value to print or to function on it. But if it is not declared in it, then this will act as undefined. That means it didn't have access of this value. Okay, So I didn't know that the name function or the what is called arrow functions this work arrow functions this work this keyword works differently as compared to the normal function. Okay, gotcha. Arrow function don't bind this means means that is not uh, consider this as any function. Okay, now we have default parameters. And what does that mean? Default parameters like functions add you have declared a function. Okay, now means that what will be your parameters or your callbacks in the function. You have default parameters. Function add a is equals to 0, b is equals to 0. Now you can declare the values of a and b inside the parameter space of any function now, and you will be returning a plus b. Okay, that's a very risky way of declaring thing. Okay, now comes the rest parameter like function and okay uh okay like I know that if you write 3 dot num and this like you will be uh, writing the number, just the number, and all other are considered or will be taken automatically. I think auto return. This doesn't explain anything like what how they are doing. I think ChatGPT also uh, tired of this function a plus b. Okay, now sum is numbers like numbers, and you will be returning numbers dot reduce like reduce you will be reduce means you will be giving output of one output of one uh, uh, like the array sum, array multiplication, all the arrays multiplication. These reduce gives a single value output from all the values. Now you are giving a comma b inside the reduce, and that is uh, working as a function inside the like arrow function, and a plus b is equals to 0, or not the equals to 0 means a plus c starting with 0. Functions are first class citizens means can be stored in variable. Functions are first class citizens can be stored in variables. Okay, yeah, like we have seen like we can store the functions like anywhere like this here we are using as a key value, here we are using as a uh, variable, stored in variable, also passed in as arguments, also can be passed in argument, like in this case this is not the case, and return from functions. Also you can directly return the functions, like you have returned these functions directly into the return. Now comes the callback functions. I think this is important. Functions, you have declared one function process user input. Now you have given the one callback in it, and what the function doing, it's defining one variable name that is assigned with the value Aman, and now you are calling the callback. You have given this callback inside the parameter callback. Now you are callback name, and what it will be doing. Now you are what do you call, like uh, you are taking the function process user input. Okay, now you are taking the input, and you are passing the function in the parameter function. You are passing the function in the parameter space of this you input. And what is the function? You are calling the function name and uh, the console log dot name. Okay, so the parameter this will execute, and what it will give, it will give the name of that function, and that is Aman. Now you have process user input as Aman. Now means that means you uh, you will be taking the callback as Aman, and now const name is also Aman, and callback name, that is done using event handlers, callback function. Okay, these are using event handlers, async code, array methods, map and filter. Okay, uh, let's done with that. This, I think this will be explained properly. This that is not explained properly with the chat GPT. And uh, okay, scope and closure critical. Yeah, that is very critical, right? How the block, scope and closure work. This is where many people struggle, so let's make it very clear. Scope where a variable is accessible. Yeah, I know that. One is global scope, one is functional scope, and another is block space. These are three types of scope. Global scope means you will be you can access in whole program any value that is declared in the global space. Like let name is Aman, you can get value Aman value in this function, accessible everywhere. This is accessible everywhere. And the functional scope means that this value only accessible in the in this functions. And blocked scope, that is very important. Let and const, it is the these two variables let and const are known as the block scope. Like in this function case, you have declared that it will be inside this function, not outside of it. And now how we the block scope is different. Like uh, if it is true, then x is 10, and now we will returning console dot log is x. But this is the this is separately functional code. So that's how we are calling that the functional scope. But in this case, you have block scope, the let and const we are not using the variable because it's our old way of writing in JavaScript. So how it work, like if that's not a function code, it's a condition check. So if it is true, then let x is equals to 10, let we will be assigning value 10 to x. We assigned the value to x, and we are uh, uh, console we are printing the value of x outside of the that condition. So but this is not returning any answer, that is not returning error. So that means what this concludes, that is closure. Closure is when function remembers variables. A closure is when a function and when a function remembers variables from its outer scope, even after the outer function is finished. Okay, a closure is when a function remembers variables after finishing the functions. Like in this case it's not working as closure. Let's take an example. Like you have declared a one function that is outer, name outer, and you have declared one value count, uh, count that is 0. Now what are you doing? You are returning return function, you are returning one another function, and what this function doing is increasing the counter by 1. Like we have value of counter is 0 count here, and we are increasing returning the value by count plus plus. That means it will give a 1 as a count in the first operation, and now return count. So that means you will returning count value from here, that is 1, and return here 1. Returning 1 means this function gives the value 1. Okay, and then you will returning that value 1 to this function, uh, this function when this is asked. So const, you are declaring one variable that is counter, and you will taking the outer function, you are calling the outer function, and you are from the outer function what are you getting? You are getting 1, and now you are printing the value of console.log. And counter is, what is counter? Counter, first you will returning the value of counter, that is 1, and again you are returning the counter value, that is 2, because you are calling counter again. And why you are, if you are calling counter, then what the counter doing? You will counter you are going to the count the outer function. And what is the outer function? Outer function is let count is equals to 0. uh, but but here comes the twist. You have the value uh, value 1 as a counter before that, and you have declared the count 0, then return function, and then you will be increasing counter value 1 to 1 and return count. So how it's working? Yeah, that's it. What we have to see, what's happening in here. Like outer function runs, count is created. Okay, we have created the count. Inner function is returned. Yeah, it's the return function is returned, and outer finishes. Okay, outer finishes, but count is not destroyed. Yeah, we know that the count is remaining same. Count is not destroyed. Why? Because inner function still references it. Okay, so that means it is storing the value as a reference, because the inner function the inner function that we have, like we have this function, it's inner function is still referencing it. So real meaning of closure: the inner function close over closes over means the inner function closes over. Okay, so inner function closes over variable, it keeps accesses to them forever. Okay, real world use of closure. Data privacy. Data privacy, how the data privacy working? Like functions, you have created a bank account. Okay, you created a bank account, and you are providing a balance in it. Okay, now you are returning the one function, like deposit. One function is that deposit. Okay, so you are returning the like a object, all these like you're returning the object of functions. This is a one object, this is the second object. First No, I don't want that. First object is deposit amount. Deposit amount balance. You have a balance, and what is the balance is? Balance is starting from the zero and amount increasing amount. You will be given the amount any value. Now the get balance value is return balance. You just return the balance value. First this is called, then this is okay. So balance is private. Okay, so when you are need the privacy, like you will be not getting giving the balance, actual balance to the user, or for the outsider. So it will uh, keep it private from any unnecessary, unwanted, or unauthorized person to access it. Okay. Functions with memory. Function, you have created a function count and returning a plus plus count. That means uh, that means you will be considering like the one value of 0 is increased to 1, then the reference is telling us that you have increased the value of counter, means you are the counter becomes 1 in this case. That you have to remember. That's how in this function it is working. Like you, the value after all these things, like counter is, this is the uh, what do you call, a closure when a function removes variables from its outer space. Okay, like in this case closure like working, and that's that you don't accessing the counter value directly, but you are valuing the you are taking the value from the counter, and this is value taking from the outer function. You don't have to be directly accessing that value. Like used this is used in React hooks, event handlers, async code, timers, a set timeout. Okay. Final mental code scope where variable lib closure function remembering outer variables. Okay, closure is like that you will the functions remembering the variable that is declared in another function that is not accessible in outside of that function, but you can access that function by processing it through the closure, and like through the function you can access into another variable outside another variable or another function that you are computing outside of that variable. uh, yeah, that's how the closure working. If you want next step, now you are covering the hardest chase part, I can give you a real interview question, or explain next objects plus array deep level. What else you check if you are ready for this? I'll check later that, but now did this thing. Now what comes after these? uh, ask my script is not that I want. Okay, like like object and arrays, I know these things, but go dist, yeah, async and JavaScript, these are DOM, also DOM is very important. Error handling, yeah, go up to the error handling, control C, V, here control V. Okay, explain in very detail. Don't need it. Okay, now we'll be covering the important part of that. Okay, let's uh, I'll just work for a minute. Okay, now we have the what objects and arrays. This section is where JavaScript becomes practical and powerful. If you understand this deeply, you are fully ready for TypeScript. Let's go step play and detail and real world focused. Objects and arrays. What is that object? What is objects? Like creating objects. How you create? Like you are defining the data type. No, the data. Yeah, variable user, and the name is Raman is and is admin false. You are putting three uh, uh, values of the what do you call the object key value pairs. Yeah, object is a key value pair, and accessing properties dot notation. How you are accessing the you will be accessing properties by using the console.log user dot name uh, dot operator is used for accessing the operators, or not the operators, or the objects. And the bracket notation also is bracket notation. How access using the bracket notation. Console.log user, uh, that user that is name. Okay, so you can also use like that, but if you not dot notation is simpler than this, but this you to remember also. This you can access by using uh, the bracket inside the key, while in the uh, double quotation. Use bracket when key is dynamic. Okay, so there is another uh, case when you will be using the bracket when key is dynamic, means that this is dynamic in nature, then it is changing again and again, then you will be using the bracket. Like here you have const key, that is name. You are giving the console.log user key. That's how you are. Okay, uh, that's how you can use the key value. Like you are it, if it is in dynamic in nature, then you can use this. Okay, modifying objects. Now you can modify object like user.as23 and directly just give the value to their values. User.city, change that into Delhi, like user. Okay, if we are adding any uh, new values in the object, that is city, and delete user.admin, you can directly delete that. Okay, nested objects. Object inside object. First object is user, you have declared name, and you are also address is also defined as another address, and inside address you are like city and pin code. That's how you can declare the nested objects. And now you can access by using dot and tot operator. That's how you can access the objects inside the object. Okay, now comes this keyword. This keyword is uh, this keyword is very yo. Okay, now this keyword, what is this keyword doing? in object. This code is in objects. How can we use this in objects? Like const, we have declared one object, that is username. Okay, now you are declaring like greet, that is the another, that's a function, and console dot like this dot name. So what is this? This means, like this name means that you will be getting this name as a uh, mm, like Aman. Okay, user dot greet. To access, this refers to the object calling the method. This refers to the object. Okay, it's referring to the object, that like this is the object referring to the that okay, that method. Like when you will be you want to access the files, access the data that is in inside inside the object, like name, anything in like that, and you are defining any function and you want to access these files, and you can directly use this add out, and this can be very easy. And okay, now job the common mistakes we will make, we shouldn't make. Okay, how the const like you have declared a user name, and like you are defining uh, here object objects. What do what what do we call the objects values inside uh, uh, objects return thing in JS. The object in directly conversations with the key value pairs is called a literal object literals. This now is different. Okay, these are called object literals. That okay. Now you have the object literal name is Aman and that killed, and now you declare the arrow function console dot like this dot name, but the arrow function doesn't work as similar to the normal function we use in the command. This will not, this comes as undefined. When you are using this in that case, this is not taking the value from the its outer space. This only access when you are using the arrow function. This value takes only okay. Console.log this dot name use greetings greet as, so you can't access this because arrow function don't have their own this. Okay, this refers to the object calling the method arrays. Now comes the arrays in the picture. Creating arrays, you can directly create array like const array 1 2 3, and you can define any values inside the array. Important array methods. Map, first is map, means you will you can map any value to these. Map means you transform data, you can transform that value, like you have declared nums as your array, and now what you are doing, like you will be doubling that number. Done. You, how can you do that? Const double, you can apply nums, that is the array uh, array variable nums dot map. You will be using all the functions by dot operator and dot map, and converting that value, like any you can give like n to changing into n into 2. any, like here you can define any function to any this, because like if you want to change this one into very big function, like uh, creating 10 to 20 lines of code, then you can just define inside this function, like you can create a function for this value separately, but in here this case we will be just doubling the map. Now what we doing for this value, here comes the n, and for that n we will be multiplying by 2 because we want to double it, return new array. This will return new array 246. And for the filter function, this gives the some filter comes in play when you need a filtering, like you will need more than two, just even odd, these kind of things when you use the like condition. Like here you have 1 2 3 4 condition based selection. Here you can do the conditional selection. Now you will be done like even. Just I told you, even is nums dot filter, and one also reduce gives the output in single value of all the array you have here. Like now you will be checking like n, what you doing with n, you are checking using the modulus. If it is equals to 0, then you will be returning that value into the even nums. That's how you are gonna return that value. And reduce to single value, this will reduce the value to the single value, const nums 1 2 3. And now you if you want to add all these values, then 3 plus 2 1, then you can do just directly do nums dot reduce. And how can you do that? You will giving the account accumulate, means that you can do like some of you are storing the values, storing the sum in here in this variable. And current is the present array element you will be taking. So like you have declared this, and now you will be using the array function account plus current value, and we will be starting from that from the zeroth value 0, by using sum grouping counting. These types of function these types of operation we can compute using the reduce method. And one more comes in, one more is find, like first match. You can find values inside there, like user dot find. If you have defined the users, uh, this is a array of id value pair, uh, value pair elements. Now you will, what you can do, user dot find. Now you can directly give like uh, what you will be doing for you, like here what is you, you is use any value you're taking, and you will be taking the value from that id. If that id is equals to you, means that this element you will be accessing this whole element. And for whole element, if you access the whole element, like you have id1 id2 id, okay, so first comes id1, and you will be checking if your id1 is equals to 2, then what you can do, if it is equals to 2, then you will find will return yes or false. If it doesn't, then to for each loop, like so. This is very important loops you will be using in the uh, for for in the javascript for each loop. If you run a loop on the array, like you have array and just write array dot for each. Now you can access all the elements by just like that. Like you have items, means every element every element count. This is a iterator, like you will be iterating 1 from 0th value to the nth and minus 1 value on the array. And what you can do, like here you can do for item console dot log that item, you will be printing that item does not return anything. This does not return anything, okay. So you have to consider that this will not returning anything. You will be returning you are operating done, then you are doing any operation inside that loop will count as any operation. Okay, difference important map. Okay, new array. Okay, this will give new array. Filter also gives new array. Reduce, just give a single value. Find, give a one element. Okay, find, not give the true first, as it gives the value. And for each is gives nothing. Destructuring and spread. Okay, and what is the what is this means? Destructuring the object is object destructuring. You have defined the user. What is that user doing? Name is Aman and age is 22. In this case, you have object destruction. You have declared the okay. Yeah, where okay, const is user. This is what is that? That is, yeah, okay, that's a object you have declared here. Okay, okay. This is the object you have declared here, and that these are the object literals. First is name, the value have Aman. Second is the value is 22. Now, oh, what does the object destructuring mean? What you doing, like initializing the count, and inside curly braces, name or age is equals to users. Extract value easily. Okay, okay, that means you are taking these keys of this user just in a one go, and from the where you are getting from the user, you can get these values directly, like 22. And you can also rename these, like const inside the curly braces, name is transformed into the username, and from the users. Okay, that's this way you can access the uh, object and do things. And the default value, like const city is unknown. Okay, you can also provide new value to the users by using this. That's important. And now the array destructuring, const array 1 to 3, that is the given array. And now you can do, or uh, for the object you will be you are using the curly braces, and for the array you using the squared bracket. A comma b is equals to array. Const a comma b, what does that mean? Means nothing, it means nothing. It just a comma b is also assigned in the array. Yes. Spread operator, yeah, that's spread operator means when you are when you use, like you have this array, and now you are constructing another array, new array, that dot an array. Like, it's not explaining anything. Why would they okay, here. Okay, now, okay, so what is this doing is, like, you have three dot and array. That means you will be accessing all these values uh, without writing separately, like 1 2 3 or the array element. Just write dot and array. You will be acting, you will be taking these array, these values inside the new array. And it is also works in the functions, like you have declared, you are giving up parameters in the functions, and you are taking many parameters. Then you can directly just if you have already declared somewhere the parameters, these parameters, you can just type these values, or that uh, that can just be written in like in a single variable, that's and we can access that and just declare the value that we also want to include in a function. And in this object, in objects, you have declared one object like that. The new user, how the new user works, just type user variable. You just have to take the variable inside that. Now you can directly access these values inside that new user. Spread creates a shallow copy. Okay, this is a spread operator. Let's create a shallow copy. That's okay. Create a copy of that. Now what is ES6 ECMA? Is ECMA 6 script? That is not very big. Like export const name, aman, import name from. Okay, you can directly yeah, that's means you are declaring that in another function. And if you done anything for in this another file, you can take you can just export these values and import another files by importing, and inside the curly braces from was just type the address of that file. Default export default function grid, and this is a default functions you can use. Why modules matter? Organized code. Okay, why we use this function? Because we don't want to our files is messed up in a single big file. We will create a separate files for separate functions or components. That is very clear to read and doesn't bother another function or variables that is not concerned with these values. That's why we use organized code. Avoid global population used in all model framework. Yes. Asynchronous JavaScripts, that is very, and they have declared okay, they have not uh, okay. Asynchronous JavaScript, yeah, the thing I know about the asynchronous JavaScript is that uh, the JavaScript is not works in a synchronous manner, it's doing uh, one line by line, and one line and after another line, this thing like this node. And if it is a function is called here, then it can go back here and run these function before anything, that then it will do this. And if we use any timeout function, a sync await function, then we can wait for this function or the that function that we have want to do anything later on or want to operate later. Then we skip that function for right now and put that in put that value in some stack or priority queue that will be used uh, that will be accessed after completing your operation or when the times comes. That's how the asynchronous JavaScripts work. JS is single threaded that you can do multiple tasks at the same time. So you have to done one single task at a single time. So how does it handle API calls? So how does it handle the API calls, timers, and file loading? These are the important tasks. Like API calls, it's a very, and timers, file loading. How can a single threaded language can do all these tasks? Answer is async system, async await. That's how we can access the these files. It doesn't wait for uh, to complete the task, or uh, it doesn't wait for the task it doing. Like uh, for the task you will be like you have a timer that you will you should complete like the language you should compute this program after 2 seconds. So it doesn't wait for 2 seconds to wait for here at that position. To complete to complete 2 seconds, and then this function works. What it will do, this will put that into the another priority queue or stack, and run the function below these that doesn't affect these. And when the times come, then it will jump back into the program, and it will run. And then that's how we will use the asynchronous JavaScript async system. That's we call the async system. And how you can use that's using the callbacks, the promises, using async await modern way. That's okay. So let's check how all these things work. Okay, the callbacks. The first is callbacks. That is our old way. So I just understand it, and don't need to use in the newer version. Okay, like what is it doing? Here you have a function that is a fetch data and callback. You are uh, calling a callbacks set timeout. Okay, callbacks. It's a function fetch data callbacks. So what is it doing? It's a set timeout function. Like what is you doing? You will be calling the callbacks data received after 1 second. Okay, so that is come in the callback hell. Why? Because you are calling the callbacks, and you are also giving the callback here. So when the timeout uh, uh, checks up to where the 100 after 1000 second, like here comes again the callback function. Then again this function calls. Then this is again and again the calling uh, calling again the same the function, not the function, the callback. So it doesn't execute ever. That's where we can tell that that is in a callback hell. Okay, now comes in the promises. Okay, now you have declared one promise, and how you can declare the promise, like new, and you have to write new keyword while writing a promise, new and promise. And how you can do that? You will be doing like resolve and reject, two things. You to right, resolved and reject. Now you will be using like it's in a promise. Promise will be declared as a arrow function. In bracket you will be giving the resolve and reject. If a promise is resolved or the promise is rejected, you can there is only two ways. And okay, so now inside the uh, promise that is the function we declared. If it is uh, what is inside, we have written the result success. It just give the result one, that is a success. If it is resolved, then it will return success. If it is rejected, then it doesn't do anything. Okay, now using dot then okay, we will use promise and then uh, combine. So how the then works, like you have declared a promise and then and catch. Like you are given a data, and what you are doing with that data, you are printing that data. Then if then means like you have a promise. If this promise work, then after that if after this promise completed, like here you have this function. Like now you are doing like here writing the dot then, and if it is resolved, okay, if it is resolved, then uh, you will be doing this. And if you are doing this, then you will returning. If it is not result, and then it will. And okay, if it is not doing, if it is doing that, and also you will be using the catch one. If it is not doing that and finding any error while doing the promise, dot then and catch. If it is like means that error, that you will declaring the error, you will be coming out of from this, in the error coming out from this promise. Now comes the async await. That is a modern way of using. We will not using the promises here and now, not using the callbacks. We will be using the async await in all the times. That's how we are working in a modern way. That's a, what is that? Before writing, if you write any function, like you have written here a function fetch data, means like a function name that what it will doing, it is fetching data from anything, like you are calling any API or anything. Okay, so what is this function doing? In this function we have created a variable that is res. That means res, and what it is doing, like we have before that we have written the async, and for before that getting that fetch means that using this fetch and URL means how when you will be taking this fetch or res value, that will be decided on the basis of the async. Means when in this case of promises, it will be it is like working as that you will be doing this thing when you are getting or you are the resolve, you are you are resolving anything, means you are in a right way or a successful way. If it is rejected, then it will check or the error or thing like that, but it doesn't do anything. Like if it reject and you after reject, you can do what you want to do. Like if it is rejected, then you will be like if a user or someone and or your website giving a value that is like for the uh, sign in function, that you have this function, the user given a password that is not a valid password, then uh, you will be returning uh, uh, like another like rejecting one. like you should be type another password that is a strong password like that. And and if it is password is correct or lies under all the conditions satisfied, then you will be returning uh, the resolved one that you have typed in that. That's the way. But in the async await, that is a modern way. Like in this function you have fetching the data, so you will be await fetch URL and how it is working. Count data, here also we are using the await and res.json. Here you are getting the destination value, here you are getting the fetch. Your makes async code look synchronous. Okay, this okay, what it does, it's the in writing way it looks like the asynchronous code is very in asynchronous is synchronous, but it doesn't as asynchronous, but it looks like a synchronous. Error handling with async, how can we handle array? Like try, we use a try catch method, like const data await fetch data catch error. If we catch the error, then console log error. And uh, if it is not, then we will uh, operate uh, operate or do things as per the requirement. Key concept: await pauses execution. What the await does, it's pause the execution right now. And async always returns a promise. Okay, so async returns always a promise that it will be uh, doing, or it will be executed in the future. It is going to be, it gotta be executed in the future. So that's when you are using the sync, that's how you get it. And await, what the await tells that you will be stopping right now, but it will be executing some time later. Okay, now the DOM basics front end, or also just uh, type some codes for the this async await thing. That's will be helpful in the future. And for the DOM basics, for the for the front end, selecting elements like const l, you are like document query selector, and select by id, things like that. Like you are query, you are selecting the queries by hashtag id. That's how you can select. And event listener, okay, this is also come in the DOM basics. Okay, like you have the button and you are adding the add event listener. Yeah, you are adding the event at that option. Like you, if that button press, what should it does. Then that's how we are at the event listener. Like add event listener on the click, after that button is click, what should have happened. Then now you write the function. If it, like it will tell you that function is clicked, the button is clicked. Okay, now the manipulation is also come in the DOM. Like you have element, that is you have told us. Now you can do anything with this by getting this value from any front end. Like text content, you can just take the text content what is written inside the value. Like you can change the style, or you can take this, you can change not this. Yeah, you can do the use in forms button UI updates. That's in where you can use, you will be using your, it's very basic, it doesn't explain anything how that does DOM work. This, like this is a basic, not the full uh, full overview how this works. Now comes the error handling. And error handling is very important. Like in try catch is the most important thing that will be using. Like if you doing the like things, if it is true, like first we'll check the try. If it is true, then like as x is assigning the value, x is assigned the value by y. And if it is error, then catch error and console log dot error. So how it works, the try code that may fail, that yeah, the inside the try, the code comes, like all the code comes that can be have an error or can fail. And what comes then, what we writing in the cache, like after the after, if any instance the code is failed, then you can return this thing that your code is failed, then that's handles the arrays and handles the error. Also the throw keyword, die catch throw, this also comes inside the, like if you are using that, like how the throw keyword works, like you have the function divide a and b. If b uh, if the b is equals to 0, what does that mean? That you, the 0 by 0 is returning the nan, but so like if it is true, then throw new error. Just you can write throw new error. This is the format how you will be writing while using the throw, like throw new error, new throw new. This comes in, and error is cannot divide by 0. You'll be doing this if it's come, and or for any other function you can just directly do that. This try and catch also works like that. Okay, and throw is like you are checking the condition, and throw finally, or comes catch finally, try catch finally. These things come together, like try, you are writing the code, if it doesn't work, then you will be writing the error, and finally this codes always runs, means you can write anything, like if it doesn't work, you will be returning error, but this code always work, like if it is work or not work, this will always work. Important, one certain runtime errors only catches okay, this only catches the runtime error, works with sync code, async needs await or dot catch. Okay, this only works for the async code, not these catch error. Async when you are using the async one, then you will be using the await thing for the caching. Finally, let's check if you are understanding everything above, you can build real app, debug programs, understand TypeScript easily. Okay, if you want, I can give you offer JS revision test TL level, or more to TypeScript basics, start with PS, or help you convert. Like wait a minute, I'll just complete all the things that are necessary, or you have told me to know about the things before that. Oh, okay. Things you should know to okay. Yeah, these are the things. Working with array and okay, type erroring. What is it? What? Okay. How to okay. Okay. Now hosting this keyword again, prototypes and class type cohesion event loop. Yeah, event loop is very like how this works. Event loop when like the priority queue things are related to that. Yeah, event loop means that is not like a event listener, like event listener as a event like a function or event you will be doing after anything happens in the front end, like develop user done. But event loop is like how the event is doing in the JavaScript code, the priority of that functions related, like if you use the async await and timeout, how will they, which one is be executing first, that will become inside the event loop. Type conversion okay, that the conversion of one from one variable to another, that's it, like JSON, these things, like okay. I'll just read things about these. Up till now, uh, explain these thoroughly. Perfect. This is a stretch of code. These talks are a bit tricky conceptually, but once you understand them, you will feel TypeScript. Let's go deep dive into. Okay, you do that. I'll be taking a break. Okay. Okay, this is a last stretch of code, JavaScript. These topics are a bit tricky conceptually, but once you understand them, you will feel very confident moving into the TypeScript. Let's go deep and simple practical. Hoisting, that is the word coming every time, every single in every single step. What is the hoisting? That is very important. JavaScript moves declaration to the top of the risk. Yeah, that's told you about the you will declare anything below any function, but the if you declared anywhere in the uh, program, this will the declaration goes at the top of their scope. So JavaScript moves declaration to the top of their scope before execution the program. Like you have where hoisting. What does that mean? Console.log a. So uh, in the var uh, you are declaring a, but it is not uh, declared yet. In this the case of where you will be getting the undefined, but whenever you are using that is internally becomes it is that's a where hoisting. And now you declared where a console.log. This works. So declared hoisted value not hoisted. Okay, now come the let and const hoisting tdz time. What I don't know. JavaScript like console.log a reference error. Let a is this giving the reference error because this is not a is before executing a or defining a, you are using a. Why? Reference error because of temporal dead zone. Temporal dead zone, what is that? Temporal dead zone means temporal DSA, time between variable hoisting and initialization. Like it's acting here and the initialization. Variable exists but cannot be accessed. Okay, it can that's why. So that no, doesn't mean that you will be starting from that position. Okay, I'm not saying correctly. That is not how the hoisting works. The hoisting works like you have declared below that in the global scope, but the tc comes into the play, the time between variable hoisting. When you have hoisted the variable like let a10 is you hoist it before accessing or the accessing the value, like you have accessed in here or initial variable exists but cannot be accessed. Okay, now the function hoisting, like this is in the uh, same global scope, but for the function thing, like you if you do inside the function uh, functional okay, now we are talking about the functional hoisting. Functional declaration hoisted, like uh, you have used the function. Okay, you have used a function before. uh, for the variable it doesn't work like the same as the functional of it. Like you have to declare a function before using that, uh, in accessing that variable. But in the case of function, you are using the greet, and you have declared greet uh, after using the function, like function greet hello, but it works fine. That's the main hoisted comes into the play. Function expression not hoisted. Like in this, you are using the const, and now the const greet function. Okay, greet. Okay, function now console log dot, but in this case you have not. uh, okay, so now you are using the greet one. You are using const, means you are declaring after the function and getting the into the access. What do you mean? ऑक्टोपस का प्लूरल बता मुझे. Yeah, in this case its x value is assigned in the greet. So this is this is a variable declaration, and you will be getting in the value, but you have to declare before accessing that. So that is not gonna work in here, but it's working fine in with the function. So that's all about the hoisted thing. Okay, now what does that mean? Like you have, if you have where, then this can hoist at undefined usage before declaration. This will return undefined, and if you let count and use before that, then this gives the error. This will give the undefined, but this not gives the error. This will give undefined. This is not the we want. This is not we want. This is error. But in the functional declaration, this can be used before and after whenever we want. Okay, and the function expression, uh, when okay, if we assigning functions value to any variable, then this can't be used. This is not uh, this is not be hoisted, as well as not be declared in the global space. Okay, the this keyword critical. What is this? Refers to the object that is called calling the function. In object, like is a user named Okay, now you are using this. No, you can now access this, but while in the uh, arrow function you can't use that. You can the arrow function you can use inside the arrow function space. So this is equals to user. This means that you are accessing the users, all the users thing in that uh, value. So in the what is the problem case, like you have the const fn uh, user dot greet. Now you are accessing value here. Const the function value is in the value in fn user dot greet, like user and the greet. Fn is undefined because uh, you are not getting anything from this greet. Now this is a lost. In the arrow function I just told you that this is not this is going to work. This will be returning the undefined thing. Arrow functions do not have their own this use parent scopes this, so they will be they don't have an their own this. They will be using their parent scopes this. So parent scope this means that uses this, and in which we don't have any users that are accessing the value of the name, so it will return undefined. Key rule: the normal function depends on caller, who is calling that, and arrow function inherit from parent scope. Okay. Prototypes and classics. Why prototypes? JavaScript uses prototypes for inheritance. Okay. Pro- uh, Inheritance means you are accessing your parent or the another functions or the classes to do something related with that. So that's a class syntax. Okay. The class the person in the class is how you can declare the class is uh, class person. That's how you declare a person class. And what is the class in which you are having? You are declaring one constructor providing the name, and this dot name is name. Okay, so that's working like this is a normal function. So this is acting like inside this function, like you just told that normal function depends on caller, who is calling that in. Okay, now that's how we declare the class. And in this we have declared one function and one create function hello, and this plus node, this plus dot name. This time you can access all these things inside this class version, because this consider this will be used as in the global scope or global scope of their parent block space of their parent function or the class that we are using. Now creating object, how we are creating that object, like this is a construction and this is a create function. How we can create the function like p1 and new person. Just use the new keyword we will be using while creating a promise, and also as well as the class, and that is the person. That's a similar like in the C++ per person. uh, there is Aman p1 dot greet greet behind the scene. Okay, now you are giving the value, that is this inside the loop, inside the class construction like here, and you will be accessing the name and also the function greet. If you get the greet function, like you will return the hello and the name of the like hello Aman p1 dot greet. Okay, that's how you are gonna use this this is creating the function, and this is taking the function construct. This is creating class and providing the value of the constructor, and this is uh, accessing the class function that is named greet. And how it's working behind the scenes: person is prototype, prototype greet dot greet. Okay. What is the JavaScript uses prototype for inheritance. Okay. Now we have the person, that is name, the class name, and we are using as a prototype. Prototype means that when you are using is act as a inheritance, then you will type like prototype. And now dot greet means that you will be getting the value inside that the greeting function. And function, you can do anything. Method go into the prototype. Inheritance class you have okay. Inheritance, how you can use the inheritance: just use the extend, like student extend person means the student, you are declaring the new class that can take the values or things that present in a person inside the student class as well. Like here you are declaring the constructor, but name is present in the person, so now you can take name in this. And grade also, you are taking name and grade from this class person. That's how the inheritance works. And now you're returning the super name, and this dot grade is equals to a grade. Super is another function you will be calling after that, and this is grade. This dot grade means you are putting the value of grade inside this grade. Key concept: constructor runs when object is created. Okay. Whenever the object is created, or constructor will always run and give to you the value that you want. And this is a current instance. This value gives that you are present at this position, and you will be getting the value or reference that inside the scope of that. This extend means the inheritance, means you are getting the value from you are means you are inheriting all the properties of its parent uh, uh, parent, what do you call, getting the parent class. And like super calls parent constructor. Okay, that super is another example. Like super is a its parent constructor called. You are calling the constructor from this parent, so that's you will use super. And for the no, I think uh, this will like uh, I'm just wondering what uh, what it is that you are using for to taking uh, from the your below class, but you can't take in from the below class. You can take from the your upper parent class. You can take from your child. So this only have the super one, not like a below or any normal one. Type conversion, well, what is type conversion? JS automatically converts types. Okay, so that's how you convert. Like here you have 5, here you have 2, so in this case you are converting that into string. Like whenever you found that you are in the string, then this is okay. For in the plus means that you are converting that into the string, but in the case of negative, it's converting into the numeric, acting as a number. So that's like plus is also, because it's also work as a concatenation in the string. So that's how we have implemented. Like in the minus doesn't act as like a subtraction in the string thing. So we will be using we are subtracting the value from 5 to in the second example. Okay, like we here we have the weird cases. If false is double equals to, then it will be returning true. Yeah, we have heard about read about that. Truthy value and falsy value, these are these are false values. Like false 0, empty string, nan undefined and null, and everything else is true value. If hello, okay, example, if hello, if it is the hello one, then string runs event loop. Okay, now comes the event loop. That's a very important topic, but it's just a basic here. uh, JavaScript is a single thread, like we know that we can do one thing at a time. Yeah. Then how async works through uh, through call stack, web APIs, callback queue, event loop. These are the things you have to remember: call stack, web APIs, callback queue, and event loop. Like in this example, console log dot start set timeout, console dot log timeout, and this is you have provided here your the timeout. You have declared one timeout here, and here also a console logged ahead. So how it is going to work? So let's see. Console.log, uh, this comes in. Okay, first it doesn't have any like, it's a simple normal uh, print, then you will just print start. But it is a set timeout, then it will goes inside the call stack or the uh, event loop in the stack. Then what you will doing, like, but it have zero, means that it means that you will be using this instantly, but it will be going inside the uh, stack. Okay, so I think that's how it's working. And now it's got in the call stack, but it have a zero, like it should be acting as a but instant. So in stack, but after that it comes again the end. It will run and then comes the timeout one. And why it works like that? Because set timeout is have to be in the stack, call stack, I think, like that. I think why start runs, set timeout goes to web API. Okay, set timeout is a function that goes to the web API. Okay, goes to the web API. Okay, if it goes to web APIs, then after that what is written? The console.log end, then end runs and callback queue. Then it goes back. Then comes in the callback. Then the terminal or the checks for the callback queue. What is that present in the callback queue? uh, if anything present in that, then that will be computing right now, uh, and then the event loop will be executing. Simple mental model: stack execution, queue waiting task, uh, event loop manager. Okay, okay, stack is the thing, like what it is, what will be the what will be the executing, that is in comes in execution none. And the queue is waiting task. Queue means that line they have present in the queue, they will be executing after one another, like in the queue, like they are standing in the queue to be executed. If they are used by any kind of async await, timeout, or fetch, this type of uh, what do we call these? I think we call them uh, callback or the uh, or okay, an event loop is a manager that event loop manages all the tasks which will be going inside the stack and the queue like this thing. And JSON is what is JSON? JSON is uh, comma separated. It's a, like a object and a comma separated key value pairs. It's a key value pairs. Text format for storing and sending it. Okay, that's a text format for storing and sending data. Like in the value that you have key and value that is all present in the double quotation mark, name and Aman and age 22, and in the uh, bracket that is separated by the comma. That's how we call the comma separate values present key value pairs. And JSON stringify means what does that mean? Convert a JS object, that this is JS object, into JSON string. So that if it is if our data is coming like a whole API coming from in the JSON file, we will convert that into this by using the stringify and use in our program, like const user name, that is we have given. Okay, JSON stringify means that if we have used this function in like you declare the user as a object, and we have name and name as a object literal, and to convert from string to JSON, then we will be using stringify, JSON.stringify, and give the object. Then that's the result will be like okay, name and okay, double slash is again continuing JSON dot password, that is called that is convert JSON to JS object. Okay. Okay. Now you are getting to JSON object JSON string. Like you have this string, you know, you have this string as a like JSON value, and now you are converting that into a string. Like you have JSON value, now you are converting string JSON dot path. Okay. Stringify means you will be converting the object into JSON, and now you are converting the string into JSON string into JS object, JS object into JSON string, and JS string into JS object. JSON part stringify to converting the string to JS object using these both paths. These में क्या है, local storage and JSON key must be double quoted or functional output. Context: you are ready to update. You understand and posting user and secure documentation, type coding, reports, basic JSON. Now you are on the step of to start active. If you want to start active from zero, secure document, convert this one separate TypeScript equivalent, and give you a mini project using JS, then migrate to yes. Give me the project address. Give me a mini project password. I do not doing the right now project. I'm doing tomorrow, but I'm just going to do my own email. But I will do this after 2 seconds. Okay, this is what why this is very long. Okay, I'll give you a mini project that uses all the concept. All the concept is just that, and it's also usable basically later convert into TypeScript. Mini project. Task manager, CLR, browser. Mini project. You are creating a task manager. Okay, you like task. What you will build a simple task manager app where you can add task, delete task. Okay, like a to-do list. Okay, mark task mark mark tasks as completed and filter tasks. Okay, the task concepts covered in this you will be connecting many tasks. Okay, yeah, good thing. Now what should I do? Like set for today, and I will do this tomorrow. I'm going to ask you a notion. I just type in my code page. With my views. Let's open a new file. Not a new one. JS tutorials. I guess I will just make a for the new type. And we just let's type so just starting the concept. Type in here like a sequence. Now I'll do this thing. I like control save. Okay, I think I have to give the name of that file. Probably file read.md. Task. TypeScript. That's how we use it. Then we have open code. Okay, that's it for today. I'll be taking my leave. Thank you if ever in the future you watch this. Okay. Bye. Peace. are they doing? Just okay. Peace.